Hi. I'm sorry. I have my glasses on. I'm getting ready to try to go outside and go for a walk, but I don't know what the temperature is, and you know how I am. I'm a baby. If the wind is still, not blowing all over the place, then I'll check it out. I got my warm coat on, but I don't have extra layers of clothes. I just have a t-shirt on, short sleeve t-shirt on, and then just a pair of jeans. I've been wearing leggings under my jeans, which makes a big difference. It's like having thermal underwear on or something. But in the meantime, I said in between time. So what does that mean, in between time? You could take that in many different ways, or maybe just one different way. Because I was just saying, time only exists here on Earth. When we leave, time doesn't exist anymore. And I read that somewhere. I'm just not quite sure where. I'm pretty sure it's in Mormon scripture, so, because that's what I'm familiar with. That plus the New Testament. I read the New Testament. I studied the New Testament because I love Jesus. And the Book of Mormon is all about Jesus, people. You people that don't think we're Christians, look again. Or actually, you probably never looked to begin with, because we are all about Jesus Christ. He's our brother, spiritual brother. And I did read, he is the firstborn spirit of God, our Father. So that's pretty nifty. I said it was, I put it out there, and then I read afterwards that I was correct. So that made me feel good. Because sometimes I just think things, maybe I don't know for sure. There is a wealth of knowledge in my head, and I just wish to share it with all you guys before I'm dead. I know that's not funny, but it rhymed. And it's the truth too, because you never know when our last day will be here. And I've waited all these years to be saying what I need to be saying. I mean, I've said it all along, but there have been, I got married. This last time I was taken up for 16 to 17 years. I mean, legally we were married 17 years. But I was really only with him 16. And out of those 16, I probably wasn't with him because love was not there, okay? When we got together, we wanted safe sex. We wanted to build a life, and we wanted to be able to have sex without feeling like we were sinning. But safe sex was a big deal, because so many diseases are out there. So many people are just giving it here, there, and everywhere, and when you do that, that's where these diseases come in. So all these people, there's so many people out there with sexual disease and scar tissue. I had scar tissue. Anyway, I have one child. I had a miscarriage when I was 19. I was 3 months pregnant, and I lost the baby. And I had Jessica when I was 22. And she came at the end of my marriage. I had been married for 6 years by the time she came. Well, pretty much 6 years, I'm not totally sure. She came in August. I'm not sure, I can't figure it out. I'm not going to worry about it. The point is, marriage was 6 years, and it takes a while to get divorced, so. But even that, the marriage was never really great. And I won't talk about that now. I'm just going to get my glove on and get ready to go outside and hope that I can handle it. It is March, which means the wind is here. I put my glove on. Because I already know I'm so cold in here, it's going to be cold out there. I know it. But I need to have some walking. Austin's moved out. He's still moving stuff. But by the time he gets his stuff out of here, I'll have room for a treadmill. If I'm going to be here. I'm not sure where I'm going to be. I know for, man. Oh, the wind's blowing. And the sun is shining. I'll still try to walk a little bit. See if I can handle it. You know, I wonder, I bet that house is empty. I bet those people have left for the winter. No, there's a garbage can out. Someone had to put that garbage can out and recycling, so someone lives there. Yeah, that one tree I was trying to show you guys in one of my videos recently. I should have been a little closer, but it was going crazy when I looked at it. It looked like like I said, a kaleidoscope, except for not colors. It was all green, shades of green. But those branches were dancing in and out of each other because of the wind. It looked pretty tripped. Well, these guys have their garbage can out too, so they're around. You can never tell these guys are around because their cars are in the garage. Alright, so now my hair will be in my face because the wind is blowing from behind me. I wore my hair in a ponytail for so many years because of the wind, because I can't stand my hair in my face. That's okay. I want to let it flow while it can. Yeah, that wind is something else. That tree's moving around. Maybe I'll show you that tree again. I'll just get closer. All these trees are blowing. Some pretty tall trees. Wonder how many years it took to get that way. Do I have my glasses on? I do. Wow. Okay, I'm going to show you this tree. Check it out. I'm going to get closer to it. Okay. Look up at those branches, how they move. They just all be dancing. Dancing in the wind. I like my hair. My hair's dancing all over my face. I guess that's okay. As long as I can handle it. Yeah. So I'm going to one streak it. I'm going to go down to the end of the block and go back home. That's not going to give me a lot of walking. I need to go and walk somewhere inside. I guess at Walmart, if nowhere else. My brother used to go shopping just so he could get his walking done. I didn't understand it back then, but I do now, because I need it. Okay. Always looking for a song to sing. What would I want to sing? Let's see, lazy day, just right for loving away. Baby, you and me. Do 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 do. I gotta quit thinking about loving. Just need to strike that from my life. Meaning the love you get between a woman and a man. You know, You guys out there make wise choices when you're young and when you're not so young. Always make a wise choice. Ha! That's not so easy to do. God, I wonder how. I'm going to have to look into that car. Little teeny tiny tires, little teeny tiny car. Someone would have squished the heck out of you. Okay. Well, I see a dog over there laying down in the sun on that roof. I was going to say they're not over there, but he is. He or she. Alright, I'm going to start going to the house. Just have to learn how to, what is it, walk in, I don't know what they call that. When you stand there and just walk in place, walking in place. Maybe that's what they call it. So, here's a question. If you did not need to work, but, you had to work, but didn't need to, that doesn't make sense, does it? Meaning, okay, let's just say that everything you made went into the storehouse. You didn't keep it for yourself. Whatever money it was you made or whatever product it was you made went into the bishop's storehouse. And then, whatever you do need, you go to the bishop's storehouse and get it. And it could be anything. So, what would you do? What would you choose to do as your 4-hour-a-day job? It's just a scenario. It's just a thought. There was a book once upon a time called Added Upon. Let's see if I can get these off. And in that book, it followed the pre-existence to this existence to the next existence. And I'm thinking they were talking about the millennium. Because they were talking about the fact that, maybe we would work a 4-hour day. And everything that, first of all, we'd work a 4-hour day doing what we love to do, what we're good at. Or maybe develop more talents, who knows, because things are still going to be growing. Meaning us, we're going to be growing throughout these existences. And I need to show Dad that, but I'm not sure exactly where I read it now. Dad thinks we're going to live in the millennium for 1,000 years. I told him, no, I don't think so. I think we're going to live 100 years. And I remember it saying we'd live to be the life of a tree. But recently, I read that we would live to be 100 years and then be changed in the twinkling of an eye. We will not die. We'll just go through a change. So what's going to happen is when we're in the millennium, we'll be semi-immortal, like Jesus was when he was here. He was half immortal and half human. But we're going to go through a change. And I guess really it's the first part of a resurrection. It is the resurrection where you pick up your body. You left your body because you died. Well, before the millennium, you'll pick that body up and it'll be perfect. And you'll be in your prime. You won't be old. Now, young people who didn't make it to be older, meaning young people, people who died when they were young, will get a chance to grow up. And their parents will raise them. That's what I've been told anyway. But in the millennium, okay, we will be resurrected, but we'll just be semi-immortal. We will not be at our final state yet. That'll happen at the end of the 100 years. We'll be changed in the twinkling of an eye, and we'll be immortal at that time. Some of these things, I've said because I thought I remembered studying that type of thing, But with this reading I've been doing, it's clarifying it. It's right there. So, I am pretty good at that. Because I always was interested in that. When I took seminary, those of you who are members of the church will know about that. 4 years of seminary. You study a lot. An hour a day during the school year. In Utah, that was part of the school curriculum, but not elsewhere. When I was in New York, I got up way early and went. And someone else got up way early to get me there. Thank you. I learned a lot, but what I started to say is, I gave those teachers hell. That doesn't sound good. But the point is, I wanted to know, and I wanted proof. So, I asked my teachers to show me. Don't just teach me, but show me. And it's part of your learning anyway. They give you the scriptures to go to and study. But we learned quite a bit. Things you wouldn't know about unless you were a member of the church and went through seminary. No matter how much studying you do, it really helps to have guided study. I went through some weird trips in my head, though, because like when we were in Utah, it was part of the curriculum, okay? So 1 hour a day, part of our school, we could choose to take that as an elective. And every Friday, just one of these years, I can't remember, but one of the years, we had Monday through Friday, and every Friday we would have open discussion of things we wanted to know about. And it was always, seemed like anyway, it was always about Satan. And different stories that had happened to people, spiritual, bad spiritual, can't think of my right words, memories, that's really not the right word either, but things that have happened to people. And so it really infected my brain. Infected was the right word, but then affected and effected, all those things, because I used to worry about that. Because they would say just thinking about him was inviting him in. And I'm going, how can you not think about him? Especially when he's a major part of this whole thing, But I learned how to cast him out. And I've been through a lot of experiences where I use that. Weird experiences. Dreams. My dreams. Anyway, that's why I think that I started listening to things when I go to bed. Takes your mind away. Takes that out of your mind. You can concentrate on what's on. You can control what's on. That is with the VCR, the DVD player, or whatever. Now I use my iPad, but I don't always. But yeah, silence is golden, and I should use that. It's just that there are times when my dreams. See, mine would happen in between going to sleep. I'd be in the stages of going to sleep, and I would see the most god-awful things out of nowhere. So, yeah, for years and years, I've listened to like a favorite TV show or a favorite movie. I'd put it on and away I'd go. For 10 years, I listened to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, that very first movie. For some reason, that didn't affect me bad. And I would go to sleep within 5 seconds. It seems like I would just start it, and before you know it, I'm gone. But if I didn't have something like that to distract me, I wouldn't go to sleep, and I'd see bad things. So that's why I did that. Now I put on, let's see, so I did 10 years of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and then I did The Good Witch for a long time. That's a really good show. And then I've been using Hallmark now, the romantic movies. The Wedding Veil series, I watch those. They're just nice, light-hearted, romantic movies. Take me away to that dream. A pleasant dream, you know. So anyway, that's enough of that subject. I do have a lot of things I could talk about. One night I had a dream that I was in the basement and we were having the Last Supper, just like Jesus Christ had his Last Supper, but it was Satan. Tripped me out. That's all I remember about it. And that was when I was first married to Kevin, Jessica's dad. Anyway, yes, I was a strange bird. I was more than he could handle. And he didn't believe the way I did, and really he didn't love me either. We should have never, ever got married. I thought I was in love with him, and I thought he loved me too. And I pushed to get married because we'd already had sex, okay? We'd already been involved in that. And puppy love, young love, and then you add that to it, oh my God. What's more powerful than a young girl in love? False love at that. I got sent away because I couldn't leave him alone. He lived across the street. I told him, I said, you can't expect me to live across the street and leave him alone. Well, next week I was gone. They sent me to New York from Utah. I wrote him every day, every chance I had. And I was all about romance and stuff like that, you know, but no, he was a kid. We were kids. And so, yeah, he was out. I heard he was necking in the back seat with Leanne Dick, who was a friend of mine. But I was gone. I was gone for 3 months. Mom and Dad thought I'd forget about this boy across the street, but oh no, I was too involved. You know, once you involve sex in the picture, oh my God. So, he wasn't sure about it, but yet he still married me. But it was never happy. When you get married, you're supposed to be totally in love, and you can't do without each other, and you can't stop touching each other, for heaven's sakes. But his dad told him, don't wear it out. That's what he told me later. He didn't tell me that. He just would not have anything to do with me. You don't know how many nights I cried myself to sleep. Because at that stage of the game, you know, 17, you're still a little kid. You don't have communication skills. Your emotions are all involved, and there's your husband who's supposed to love you. He's rejecting you. Yeah, that made me feel really good. And then I didn't know why either, you know. And then what does he want to do? He wants to hang out with his boyfriends. Because he's already got the woman at home. But yet later on in life, he's out there going to the bars, and who knows what he did. I don't trust the mother. Yeah, I didn't say the other word. We went to a bar one night, me and him, and these people that we hung out with, Jim and Jill. Waitresses were all flirting with them, and they were just eating it up. You think I liked that? I wanted to pour a drink on somebody. Anyway, I don't want to ever go back to those days. Stupidity. Don't marry somebody who doesn't totally want you. How sad. I wasted so many years on that man. Not just wasted years, but dreams. And at the end, a child comes along. And then look what she had to go through. When it should have been a happy marriage. It should have been love. And not someone who's wanting to go out with their boyfriends. And not someone who's wanting to get off on pornography. So many things that were wrong with that marriage. But still, it's that puppy love thing, man. It affected me for a very long time. Very, very, very long time. So, don't let your children get married too young. Even if they just are totally, totally, totally in love, unless you know more about that picture. Because yes, you can get married young, and you can have a strong marriage forever. But it needs to be a two-way street. And love grows and love dies. So you have to feed it. You have to nurture the garden so that love will last forever. And you need to have things in common, or at least be willing to endeavor to share things, you know. A love of what? A love of nature, a love of whatever it is that you love. Be nice if you shared that with your mate. Well, here I am at 69. I've never been with the right man. And maybe I was never the right woman. Because you need to get past so many things. You need to know what life's all about. Why are you here? Where are you going after you're dead? Marriage can be forever. I've read that to you about the sealing power. There are keys. There are keys to the kingdom. And there are keys. Eternal marriage happens at the temple by those who are in authority, those who have the priesthood. Celestial marriage. The temples are all about taking out your endowment, which is a gift from God, which I imagine is eternal life. Don't know exactly the gift, but an endowment is a gift, okay? And that's what you do at the temple. The very first thing you do, if you're an adult, is take out your endowment. And then, if you are married already, you can be sealed to your husband or your wife forever in the temple. But if you're not married yet, and you have someone, then you're both worthy, you can go to the temple and be married for time and all eternity, right off the start. But you need to make sure that's what you want. You know, who wants to be married to the wrong person? And then you're sitting there trying to get something accomplished, and you can't ever, I don't know my right words. It's like the evenly yoked part. The oxen, you have two ox, and they have this big old wood thing around their necks and stuff, and they're pulling a load. Well, if they don't have the same goals in mind, or the same what are we doing together, they're not going to get anything accomplished. And that's what I had. That's what I had with Joe. And I imagine with the others. I've been married 3 times now. First marriage lasted 6 years. Second marriage was 2 years, but we weren't together for 2 years. He was too busy dinking around. He married somebody else while he was married to me. I should have chopped his winky off. Not only did he marry somebody else while he was married to me, he would live with me 6 weeks and be calling her and sneaking off to see her. And then he'd leave me for about 6 weeks and be with her, and then he'd be sneaking off to see me. So he carried on a relationship for a long time with 2 people. Yeah, I should have. I woulda, coulda, shoulda, but no. The way I was brought up, I believe in God and stuff. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, but by God, I sure like to take some out. Yeah, that boy deserves some stuff. Now, the first marriage, we were kids. We were stupid. He was freaking stupid, and he realized it later. But, you guys need to be realizing it right now. When you get married, what are you getting married for? That should be your new best friend, not those guys at the door. Not those guys you're going to go out and drink with. You're not happy if you're doing that, okay? There's no reason to be married if you're going to go out and carouse around. Because it should be a goal. It should be a goal that you're building life together and that you're going to love and respect and admire and can't wait to have sex. Can't keep your hands off each other. And when I say hands off each other, I'm talking even just a touch. A touch on the shoulder, a touch on the butt. A loving touch or a kiss. Doesn't have to be full-fledged sex. Just affection. That's what leads you into good sex right there. They say to make love to a woman, you start in the morning. And that doesn't mean have sex in the morning. It just means love and affection all the time. Sweetness, kindness, lust. You can have lust for your mate. Oh, yeah. So, I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping, anyway. So, what is this life all about? It's about learning. By hard knocks sometimes. And maybe we learn our lessons by the end of our life. Hopefully. So, I'll be jabbering along. One day soon, this garage might be cleaned out. I can see that that's going to happen. And it needs to happen. We need to get her done. I need to get about taking care of business too. I need to get some soapy water and come out here and wash this fridge out and wash the fridge out in the house and just go through stuff. Get rid of stuff. It is true. We let things that mean nothing take up our space. You can have a big old house, and if it's full of crap, what is it good for? It's sheltering crap. And you know what? Crap's not a good word, because you can have a house full of wonderful things, but they're still taking up space, and if you don't use them, there you are. Might not have room to sit on your own couch. When I sold Avon, there's so many good deals. And they'd have an outlet book. So they'd have really super good deals in that outlet. And then, you couldn't hardly help yourself. I'd buy extra because surely I'm going to sell it. Ha! It just stayed in a box. I was living in a warehouse for a while there. Not kidding. boxes and boxes and boxes full of Avon, lining my hallways, lining the bedrooms, lining everywhere. I was walking in a path. That was a lesson learned too. But you know, I could figure out how to put that to good use now, but it's too late. Everybody in Downs got my stuff that was in my storage units, and I had lots of stuff. But the person I traded properties with, they stole my stuff. I mean, I had a big old box full of jewelry. And they were in the jewelry was in little boxes inside that big box, okay? Beautiful jewelry. Not expensive jewelry, but expensive as far as Avon goes. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. It's somewhere all over that area because my storage units, after paying for 10 years, I let it go. So the guy that owned the storage lockers went in there and cleaned up. And he knew someone else who knew how to sell online, so they just had a good old time selling my stuff. After I paid for storage for over 10 years. I was only paying $100 a month, but how much is that? If it was $1,000 a year, that's $10,000. But it was $1,200 a year. And then to just lose it. You know, just give your stuff away. Don't put it in storage. Save yourself some time and effort. So, today, I was going to walk. I'm not going to now. And I think I've talked to your guys' ears off probably enough. And I've read a lot of scriptures, so you don't need that. Give me a break! But the things I have been reading have been very interesting, if you can handle listening long enough. I know, I had to endeavor to read. And I know it's endeavoring to listen too, unless you find it really interesting. And some of that stuff really is. So that's what I wanted to do, was read to you good stuff. I mean, not boring stuff. And if you ever think about life after death, and what's the purpose of this life, and things like that, you know, it's important. I'm just looking at the stuff I've got stacked around here. I'm bad. I'll show you real quick and see if you can see it. What do you see? 5 dozen eggs fit in one of those boxes. And I couldn't, you know, I had chickens and I had eggs all over the place, and I had no place to put my eggs. I would have loved to have had those boxes. So I need to put an ad out on the Facebook Never Buy Anything page, you know, and just tell them I got these boxes. Anybody with chickens, you want to come and get them. I just can't throw them away. And really, if you only have a few chickens, you know, like 5 or under, a 5 dozen box is good. Or a couple 5 dozen boxes would be good. During the winter, they don't lay that much, lay eggs, but they do in the summer. And we had eggs everywhere. I had all kinds of, like, dog houses, dog igloos that my other animals used. My goats used them, my chickens used them. You would find eggs in an igloo. I'm not talking about an ice chest. I'm talking about a dog house. That's an igloo. Or a dog glue. Anyway, I got a lot of experience from that farm life. And I was there at least 10 years. But it was an expensive, expensive lesson. So, I'm tired of those expensive lessons. I'm ready to get on with some happiness. And that can be in more than one form, okay? Because why would you want to jump back into the fire after getting out? Why would you want to tie yourself to somebody unless it's for sure? Yeah. Sometimes it's easier to be alone, but it's never easy to be alone either. Anyway, I probably should go. Peace be unto you, people. I hear somebody outside. They're probably going to come in here. So I'm going to have to shut you off. Yeah, I can hear them. I can't get my glove off fast enough to do that, though. How can I shut you off? I could put my nose.